What is going on, guys? It's Reflex here, and did Trae Young's loss make him even more like Steph Curry than we realize? Now, what I mean by this is that we see people always judge a player more harshly on their wins than their losses, and I think the reasoning behind that is when you lose, the only thing they say is that, okay, yeah, the hype's gone now. He's not as good as we thought, and that's good to say every once in a while, but it never makes sense because we don't realize that a man can only have so many good games. And now this is why I draw the comparison to Steph even greater in his losses, is that he didn't look like he lost any confidence at all. He shot 8 for 22, and that's not good. That's an off game for Trae Young this season. It really has been. And he still dropped 29 points. Now, see, why I call this, it's more comparable with his loss to Steph Curry is that he didn't look like he lost confidence even when he was missing. The three was not falling. He was 3 of 12, and he was still going to take him. He was still taking the shot. And whether you say, okay, that's just stupid for keep chugging up the shots, but that also shows that he doesn't have that lack of confidence. Even when he does bad, even if he's 1 of 10, he's willing to go 2 for 11. And whether or not, even in a big shot, like say they were only down 2 or down 3, he was still willing to take that big moment shot, even though they lost. They lost by, 76 to 89. They lost by a big chunk. But it still was a good look for him for the reason that it didn't look like he really lost confidence to where he just, became complacent and then let everyone else, pretty much take the shots for him and he didn't want to take anymore. He just kept going at it. He kept doing, playing his game that he knows how to play, and it just didn't seem to, come together, which every player has that. I mean, take a look at Steph Curry, for instance. There's games where he shoots 1 from 11 from 3, and people will then, at that moment, call Steph Curry overrated, the most overrated point guard. He sucks. He's not even a good shooter, blah, blah, blah. But then he comes around the next game and drops, a new NBA record. Because I remember that game against the Pelicans. The game before that, he ended up doing really, really bad, and people were talking that crap. And then he goes and drops a new NBA record and pretty much shut everyone up. And that's the thing I think that's going to happen to Trae Young. This game is going to be a step 1 to see how good he actually is. The next game is going to be step 2. Can he come back from this poor game and, play a greater one? And that's the sign of a good player, is the bounce back. Because there's a lot of players that, they do bad and then they bounce back with a great game. Not all players can do that, and we haven't seen Trae Young do that yet because he hasn't had a bad game until right now. This is his first actual, adequate, pretty not too great performance. So we're going to see the next game whether or not he can actually step his game up and bounce back and do really well and shut the haters up. Because I will say, there's a lot more hype around Trae Young than everything. He got that Lonzo Ball effect, but not to the extent that Lonzo Ball was, and that was mainly because of his dad. But he does have that effect on people right now. The threes, he's pretty much the Steph Curry of college right now, which is awesome because we haven't seen a Steph Curry in college since Steph Curry in college, and Steph Curry was something special in college because that team didn't look like it was going to go anywhere. Let's be real. Davidson did not look like it was going to go anywhere, and Steph all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came into the spotlight and was draining these deep threes that no one really ever seen before. Shots that you think someone would get benched if they missed. And who knows, he probably would have got benched if he would have missed, the really deep ones that he took, but he didn't miss them. And that's what's drawing such a comparison to Trae Young now, is that he's shooting these same deep-ass threes for no reason, and even when he misses those deep threes, he takes another one. He could take another one from 2 feet further out and then drain that one, and it's like, this man's confidence cannot be wavered. One miss, shoot, if I miss from 3, yeah, that's the last 3 I'm shooting for a good long little, I don't know, maybe 2 quarters. I ain't shooting another 3 unless I'm open. But him, he could miss one. It's like, nah, I'll reload and do it again. And that's just a sign of a good player, and that's what all these comparisons drawing to. But the one thing that Trae Young, kind of has a better, knack for right now is the assist game. Now, evidently, he has more. I think it was a 25 points, 20 assist games. He has 7, and the one below him is Denzel Valentine, and he has 6. And it took Denzel Valentine to get those 6 those 6 games. It took him 144 games to get those. Trae Young has 7, and it took him 13 games. That is insane. That really honestly is insane. And it's why it's drawn attention to me. Now, if you ever watched OSN, you've seen Trae Young before, even before he was playing at Oklahoma. You've seen Trae Young do these 3-point shootouts with OSN, and you were like, okay, this dude's kind of nasty. He got a nice little wetter on him, and people were hyped for him, and I can see that right now he's actually doing well. He's living up to the hype. He's living up to the expectations that people got on him, and it's a lot easier for him than how it was for Lonzo Ball, because Lonzo Ball, he had too much hype on him. And I still believe that he had a little more hype than he deserved, just for the reason his dad was there. But, he lived up to it in college. I'm not going to lie, even though he did have a couple bad games, but everyone has those. But, yeah, we'll see Trae Young's next game and whether or not, he bounces back and puts on a show, because that's what a great player does. And right now, he is going to be tested. He is going to be tested, because right now I went on Twitter after the game, that was yesterday, and I pretty much looked at every comment, and people were like, oh yeah, he got locked up. You live by a 3, you die by a 3, and all this and that. People are hating on him now. And we'll see. Next game, I'm going to look at the Twitter feed again and see those. I'm going to look for the same haters. I liked all the tweets. That way, when the game plays again, and if he does well, I'm going to go ahead and click on all their profiles and check them out and see their comments then, and see exactly what happened. Did he shut up the haters, or are they continuing to bark like normal? But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below, if you guys even watch college ball, and let me know if this is going to be, if he's going to take this test to a new level and actually bounce back and with a great game, or is he this kind of showing that he's human and he's not as good as he wants, that he was kind of showing people. I don't know. I think he's going to bounce back. I think this loss has an even more comparison to Steph Curry than some of the wins that he had, and some of the repertoire that he has in this 3-point shooting. I think this loss shows a lot more, character to him, that he can have these bad games and still not lose confidence and still play his game. That's what I liked about it. That's honestly what I liked about it. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, leave a like, subscribe, and you guys know the drill. I will see you guys later.